Hi, my name is Chloe, and I have a problem. Let me tell you about it. This is my August in and out, or nope, yes, August in and out. So, if you've not seen one of these videos, what it is I tell you everything that I'm hauling for the month as well as everything that I'm unhauling. And y'all, this is a big month. My problem is that I am a book hoarder, a book collector is maybe a better way of saying it. But my friend or my sisters, my friends, you guys, what is my brain doing? My daughters and I have been doing a standing play date at the library every week, and with that, I cannot stop popping my head into the Friends of the Library bookstore. And I blame my daughters actually, because the sweet lady that works there on the mornings that we go, she gives them stickers every time, and they are like good stickers. There's Spider-Man, there's Frozen, there's all the good stuff. So we have to go in there, and I just can't stop buying stuff. So a lot of these have come from there. Some of them my mother gave me that she has read and is ready to pass on. She is not a book collector, and I just said I'll take whatever. And so let's just get into it, y'all. The haul is big, and I remember almost nothing. So let's just get into it. The first one is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I think I read this many, many moons ago, but I can't remember. And John Green is like kind of Nicholas Sparksy to me, and like you have to be in the right mood. But when I am, I'm here with it. So despite the tumor shrinking medical miracle that has bought her a few years, Hazel has never been anything but terminal. Her final chapter inscribed upon diagnosis. But when a gorgeous plot twist named Augustus Waters suddenly appears at Cancer Kids Support Group, Hazel's story is about to be completely rewritten. So I have read this, but I enjoyed it, I think. And it, like I said, it scratches that itch. When I'm looking for a John Green book, I want to have it. And so here it is. Plus it's a movie. Plus I've got 3 girls who someday will be introduced to John Green. So seriously, it's a problem. Next, let's see. The Forever Summer by Jamie Brenner. I don't really need to know that much. I mean, like this cover, it says, a captivating tale of family secrets and strong women. Do I need to say more? I mean, not for me, obviously, because these cost $1, you guys. At the library bookstore, they cost $1. And for the, 4 hours of entertainment I'll get out of this, that's amazing. So anyway, an emotional roller coaster ride that will have you addicted and wanting to read more. This book is truly the perfect literary escape for any season. How can you turn that down? Marion Bishop is always played by the rules, and it's paid off. On the cusp of 30, she has a handsome fiance, a prestigious Manhattan legal career, and the hard-won admiration of her father. But one moment of weakness leaves Marion unemployed and alone, all in a single day. Then a woman claiming to be Marion's half-sister shows up, and it's all Mary can do not to break down completely. Seeking escape, Marion agrees to a road trip to meet the grandmother she never knew she had. Quaint beachside B&B. This sounds awesome. So can't wait. Next is Summer 69 by Ellen Hildebrand. This is one that I did not own. I own most of Ellen Hildebrand's books because I just love them. The glare is terrible today, but this is probably set in Nantucket because they always are. Welcome to the most tumultuous summer of the 20th century. It's 1969, and for the Levine family, the times are a-changin'. Every year, the children have looked forward to spending the summer at their grandma's historical home in downtown Nantucket, but like so much else, nothing is the same. Blair, the eldest sister, is marooned in Boston, pregnant with twins and unable to travel. Middle sister Kirby, caught up in the thrilling vortex of civil rights protests and determined to be independent, takes a summer job on Martha's Vineyard. And beloved son Tiger is an infantry soldier recently deployed to Vietnam. 13-year-old Jessie suddenly feels like an only child, trapped in the house with her out-of-touch grandmother and her worried mother, each of them finding a troubling secret. So Ted Kennedy, there's historical stuff about 1969, and this just sounds great. I can't wait. Next is The Orphan Tale by Pam Jenoff. Again, orphan is a buzzword for me. Don't know why. This cover also, fall especially, is just historical fiction time for me. Don't know why. It just feels cozy, and I needed it. So, and I know Pam Jenoff. I don't know if I've read her, but I know I own a few Pam Jenoffs because I've heard such great things. And this one is a powerful novel of friendship set in a traveling circus during World War II. So circus is like an anti-buzzword for me, but I'm feeling like this one could be redemption. 16-year-old Noah has been cast out in disgrace after becoming pregnant by a Nazi soldier and being forced to give up her baby. She lives above a small rail station, which she cleans in order to earn her keep. When Noah discovers a boxcar containing dozens of Jewish infants bound for a concentration camp, she's reminded of the child that was taken from her, and in the moment that will change the course of her life, she snatches one of the babies and flees into the snowy night. That is all I need to know, you guys. That will tug on my mama heartstrings, and I am very excited to read this one. Next is, I've got like all the fall, all the summer, all the seasons covered. Susan Wiggs, The Summer Hideaway. So this is part of the Lakeshore Chronicles, which I am not big on like reading that whole series, but I like to like pop in and out. I do have a lot of the series, so if I wanted to, I could. And this one, let's see, I don't know what number this is, but they're all like companions. I wish they put somewhere on these darn books what number it is, but this is from 2010. Let's see. Don't even know where a synopsis is, you guys. Are you serious? Oh, there is something on the back. Holy moly, you guys. Brain fried. It's Sunday afternoon, and I don't know about you guys, but like Sundays we do church, and for us getting out the door is like so dang hard because it's at 9 o'clock, and it doesn't matter. I feel like the morning just fries my brain. By the afternoon, I got nothing. But never get attached. Private nurse and protective witness Claire Turner lives by this motto. Fleeing a treacherous past, she knows no other way. Never give up. In the twilight of his life, George Bellamy makes it his final wish to reconcile with an estranged brother. He and Claire journey to Willow Lake, where it all went wrong for him 50 years ago. Never let go. George's grandson, Ross, is ruled by a fierce devotion to family and a deep mistrust of the mysterious Claire, yet sparks fly whenever she's near. In the face of wrenching loss, amid the enchantment of Willow Lake, Ross and Claire decide to risk everything for love. So I like Susan Wiggs quite a bit. We interviewed her for the Book Sisters. I'll try to link that down below. It's been a couple years, but I really like her and really like reading her stuff. Then we've got Sleep by C.L. Taylor. This is one that I heard a ton about, and like it's been years. I don't know when this came out, but all Anna wants is to be able to sleep, but paralyzing insomnia, terrifying nightmares, and memories of that horrific day are making it impossible. If only she didn't feel so guilty. To escape her past, Anna takes a job at a hotel on the remote Scottish island of Rum. Yet, when 7 guests join her, what started as a retreat from the world turns into a deadly nightmare. Each of the guests has a secret, but one of them is lying about who they are and why they're here. So, yeah, sounds good. Cannot wait. Lucy Foley blurbed it, and I generally like her. I know she's kind of controversial. Next is another thriller. Somebody, like just this last week, somebody must have gone in and like donated tons of thrillers because that is what's all over the place. But we've got If I Die Tonight. Late one night in the quiet Hudson Valley town of Havenkill, a distraught woman stumbles into the police station after a carjacking and a hit and run, and lives are changed forever. As Liam Miller's life hangs in the balance after he was struck at the scene, the events of that fateful night begin to come into focus. But is everything as it seems? So, yeah. I don't know. That I'm not going to read the whole blurb because you don't need to, but blurb by Harlan Coben. By the time you read this, I'll be dead. Yikes. Next is The Bad Parents, which you guys, just this cover and all of that, like, it's S.L. Harker. I've never heard of this author. But instead of hosting trivia nights, the parents on Madison Lane decide to play by a whole new set of rules. Anything goes. Petra, Dawn, and Amy are about to indulge in their darkest fantasies, and it all goes on behind closed doors. Behind perfect picket fences and manicured lawns until someone pushes those fantasies too far. That's all I need to know. Suburban drama about crazy things. I don't know. Sounds good to me. Can you guys see all of the thrillers that are coming? Someone's Listening by Serafina Nova Glass. So Faith Finley has it all. She's a talented psychologist with a flourishing career, best-selling author, and the host of a popular local radio program, Someone's Listening, with Dr. Faith Finley. She's married to the perfect man. He's a respected food critic. Liam is missing. So then notes begin to arrive, notes that are ripped from Faith's own book, the one that helps victims leave their abusers. Notes like, lock your windows, consider investing in a steel door. As the threats escalate, the mystery behind Liam's disappearance intensifies. So, I don't know. The Nurse's Secret by Liz Lawler. Again, one that I've never heard of, but she's meant to keep you safe, but can you trust her? I don't know. I'm not even going to read the back because I think that, like, I've thought about that a lot, about like the vulnerability of hospitals and surgery, and you're like, hey, here's my body, go ahead, cut it open, do whatever you want with it, I'm trusting you. Like, I don't know, I think that is like scary, but it's what you got to do. So yeah, yikes. Next is The Family You Make by Jill Shalvis. So Jill Shalvis is another one that I don't really need to know that much about. I really enjoy her. We interviewed her too for the Book Sisters, and she's awesome. I don't know if this is a part of a series. Let's see. Does it say somewhere in there? You guys probably know, and I don't. Clearly, I just bought it without knowing. But it's 2022. And then an excerpt from the Friendship Pact, which I have. Gosh, I thought this was part of a series. I don't know. But this is during the snowstorm of the century, Levi Cutler is stranded on a ski lift with a beautiful stranger named Jane. After strong winds hurl the gondola in front of them down to the ground, Levi calls his parents to prepare them for the worst, but can't bring himself to say goodbye. Instead, wanting to fulfill his mother's lifelong wish, he impulsively tells her he's happily settled and Jane is his girlfriend right before his phone dies. But Levi and Jane don't. They don't die. Now Levi's family is desperate to meet the one. Though Jane agrees to be his pretend girlfriend for just one dinner, she's nervous. So, yeah, sounds good. Fake dating. And like when a traumatic event is done well, I feel like that is a way that pulls me in and makes me instantly buy into the couple. So I trust her to do it well. Okay, now these next few, I think... this is one more thriller that I bought from the library, I think, Behind Closed Doors, which Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris is one of my very favorites. This is not the same, obviously. 2 kidnappings 30 years apart. Can Stacy face her own dark past in order to save her stepdaughter? So I'm just going to read that blurb. I looked this up on Goodreads, and it's got pretty decent ratings. Plus, the chapters are pretty short and all of that. So I thought, and like, you guys, I paid $1 for this, and the spine has not been cracked. It is in perfect condition. So even if it's bad, like even if I DNF it, it's $1. I will take the risk because it's a great name. So maybe it's great too. And then I think these next few are from my mom. The Kingdoms of Savannah by George Dawes Green. So these probably started with my sister and then my mom and then me. And this one has a map, but I literally know nothing about it. Savannah may appear to be some town out of a fable with its vine flowers, turreted mansions, and ghost tours that romanticize the city's history. But look deeper and you'll uncover secrets, past and present, that tell a more sinister tale. It's the story at the heart of George Dawes Green's chilling new novel, The Kingdoms of Savannah. So, yeah, it begins on a balmy southern night as some locals gather at Bo Peep's, one of the town's favorite watering holes. Within an hour, however, one man will be murdered and his companion will be disappeared. An unlikely detective, Morgana Musgrove Doyen? What the heck is that? I like don't even know. Of Savannah society will soon be called upon to unravel the mystery of these crimes. So, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if I like this. Again, my mom gave it to me, and I want to try it because I know that means at least her and my sister have read it, if not my grandma too. So then I can at least talk to them about why I didn't like it if I didn't. Then we have another one that I'm not sure I'm going to read all the way through. We'll see. The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. And I've heard nothing about, like, I've heard about this a lot, but I never listened. Gosh, these end papers. When Margaret Lee opened the door to the past, what she confronted was her destiny. So I feel like if I read about these, that I'm going to remember things that people had said, good and bad, and I don't really want that. I just want to kind of go in blind. And so I'm going to do it. But this one has deckled edges, so I probably won't read it physically because I don't like deckled edges. So is it worth keeping? I don't know. Like, I got to think that through, and I don't have the brain power for it tonight. So then finally, well, not finally, kind of finally, we have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And this one I've heard a lot about, and I'm really intrigued. I may love it, and I may not at all. I'm really not sure. This is about a woman, I think, who is like between life and death. I think she's potentially thinking about committing suicide. And it's kind of what would have happened, maybe. I don't know. You guys who have read this are probably like, no, that's not what it's about. But again, I kind of just want to go in and not know much about it. So these next two that I'm about to haul are possibly, I've read them already, and I'm possibly going to unhaul them. I don't know. I can't. Decisiveness is not my strong suit, but let's talk about them. So we've got Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. And this is an interesting book. This was by far one of the most cleverly written thrillers that I have read in a very long time. So this mother witnesses her teenage son commit a murder. And then time goes backwards. So then the next day she wakes up and it's the day before the murder and the murder has not happened. And then it's even further back. And she ends up going like 20 years past, like before her son is even born, and trying to figure out what happened with this murder and stuff. And this gets into, like, I expected kind of a domestic thriller, and what this was is more of a like underground crime ring stuff, and I'm just not into that. So there were times that I really glazed over reading this because it's just not my interest. And so I gave it 3 stars. I don't think I'm really the audience for it, but it was so cleverly written that maybe it would deserve a reread at some point. I don't know. I'm really debating on this one. This one, though, I'm for sure going to unhaul. This is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and I'm shocked I'm saying that. This is about 2 people. I'm going to try not to get on my soapbox because I just read this for the back to school readathon, which you will see, you'll see probably after this. Okay, so I'm going to keep this brief, but basically there's 2 people that meet as early 20s. They have a day together and agree to meet up a year later, and she comes, but he does not. And so then 10 years later, he stumbles back into her life, and there's a second chance romance. I really did not like this book. I will be unhauling this. I didn't like either of the main characters. There were some plot points that really bothered me. I love her writing style, but this just was not it for me. So that one's getting unhauled. Now let's get into the rest of the unhauls. Fortunately or not, this is not quite as big of a stack. It is still quite a few though. So we've got The Spies Wife by Reginald Hill. I started to read this with my friend Glenda, and I'm just not interested. It is, I think, like Cold War times. I don't know. Somebody comes to her door and says like her husband's a spy and they need him. And he has left, and she didn't know anything about that, but I didn't care at all. This was weird. It had like weird commentary on her sexuality. There were things that made no sense. Like, it's just not for me. Next is Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng. This has one of the most intriguing premises. It's a dystopian about a world in which there is the American Preservation Act or something like that, where America is basically segregating minorities, specifically Asian, I believe, minorities, and a Chinese American, I think. And we're told, this is from the perspective of a young boy whose mother is a part of the rebellion against that. And books are banned. His dad's a librarian. So it's him trying to figure out his mother's story and trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But the writing style is so slow. I DNF'd this because it was so slow. I couldn't get into it. Next is The Hellion by Laverell Spencer. So I started to read this one and was not into it because it's a romance between a bad boy, like this super bad boy. In the first chapter, he's all talking about how bad he is and how he's got this reputation and stuff. And I just don't like that. It's also a pretty it's only 325 pages. It feels chunky, but romance that is just an old kind of slower Southern romance, and I just am not going to read it. The bad boy trope is just really not my jam. Next we have Sunshine on Silver Lake by Annie Raines. I read this and it was fine. I just don't need to keep it. It's about a woman who she just turned 30 and she's got like some stress about that because her mother died at 30. And so she undertakes like this bucket list that she found of her mother's. And one of the things is to plan a 5K. So she needs the help of her like high school sweetheart to plan the 5K because he is a park ranger and she needs to use the park. So it's their romance. It was fine. Nothing exceptional. Next is Wish You Were Here by Stuart Onan. So this is another one that I did in my most recent Triad chapter tag, and I didn't care at all about it. So there we go. Next is The Time Traveler's Wife. This is just because I have an additional copy of it, so I don't need this. Another one, Sister Stardust. I read that this month, and it is boring as all get out. It is about, I love Jane Green, so I was shocked by this, but it's her first historical, and it's about this girl who meets this model, actress, something, and gets wrapped up in the whirlwind of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll of the 60s. And I didn't like it. Next is The Elegant Gathering of White Snows, and this is about 8 women who undertake like some sort of walking challenge or something. And this, just in the first couple pages, it used the Lord's name in vain multiple times. It's also about 8 women, which is a lot to keep track of. And we meet, I think, all 8 in the first chapter. And it's just like, I couldn't wrap my mind around it. I didn't really care to, especially with the language. I knew this was not going to be for me. There's also a lot of like crude talk just in the first chapter. So that's going to go. And then finally, a Girl Thing by Sarah O'Brien. This one it's an older book. I can't remember when it was written. Let's see. It feels like late 90s, early 2000s. 2006. And this is just about a woman in, she's like a reporter or something. And she keeps getting passed up for men getting jobs over her. And then she has this romance with this guy. So I don't know. I just wasn't drawn in after the first couple chapters. So, yeah, that is everything that I'm unhauling and hauling. If you are interested in any of these books for yourself, I will list them on my Panko bookstore, which is always linked down below. And if you want any more of my thoughts, I will link all the videos that I've talked about these this month, because most of these I've either read or tried this month, and so they are not going to take up space on my shelf. But unfortunately, I hauled so much more. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. If anything ever happens, I've got books covered. So that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.